Hey everyone, welcome back to Living in the Question. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Sadie.
And we are so excited that we are back together.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
Uh-huh.
And I am really excited to record this episode with you and catch up with you today.
Me too. Yeah. We haven't seen each other for about a month, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really long for us. So we're like, what's up, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, how's life? And that's just what we want this episode to be, you know?
Us.
Yeah. Let's just talk about us.
Okay.
I feel like let's just talk about us. That sounds so bratty. But for real, like I feel like these episodes are good sometimes because most of the time we have such specific topics, but to be able to just banter as like me and you and just hang out and just catch up, like that feels so good.
I mean, there's a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, for sure. So we're excited to catch up with you guys too. I think it will be good.
Yeah.
So do you want to start off with an awareness check-in?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm happy to start. For me, a lot has happened since we last talked, like so much. But I have just been aware of how beautifully synchronistic and mysterious the universe is. Like, I have had such interesting experiences lately that have been so magical that I just can't help but believe in the magic of the universe, right? So it feels really good. I'm excited to share more about that, but that's where I've been. And honestly, if I could just summarize anything, it's just that what you seek is seeking you, and allow that into your life and believe that goodness is coming your way and that everything you want can be yours and will be, and everything is in its divine timing, and you're not going to always understand it, but
trust it.
Just trust.
Because it just is.
Yes.
Yeah, it just is. Oh, I love starting it off like that. Do you feel like last week's episode propelled you into this a little bit? Because I feel that in a little bit too, like of a way.
For sure. So that was like the last time we really hung was when we recorded that, and it totally set the trajectory. And just Sadie Olson, she's so cool. She had said, like, everything is always working out for my highest good. And I've literally been saying that to myself, and it's so true. And when you believe it, that's when it starts working out, and you recognize all the ways it's working out for you.
Yeah, that's so true. And I feel like at first you don't fully believe it, but then once you start to believe it, everything just like flips on its head, and it's like, oh, here you go.
Yes, dude, that's where I've been. And then you just continue, and it like perpetuates. And it's not to say that like real life won't happen and you're not going to like have steps backward or like things aren't going to be hard, but like you kind of carry this ease with you where it's like, I know that everything is going to be okay. Like everything will be all right. Like,
I think that's beautiful. I'm happy for you, dude. Yeah, it makes me excited. I feel like I've been that way too, in a way. Like what I wrote down, okay, let's just go into this. For my awareness check-in is last weekend I had school, and every single weekend that we have school and I have class. So for people that don't know, that are newer listeners, I go to a school called a Society of Souls, and I'm, in my 4th year to become a healer. And after that, I can do healings and all that kind of stuff. And I'm so excited. But each class that I've had is, I don't know, life-changing, like each one. And it's just like, whoa, we keep going deeper. Like that's what I always say about it is class was so deep. But it is like we just go deeper and deeper into like ourselves, and also just connecting with the universe. Like it just is like that's what my whole school was about last weekend, is it just is. And like let yourself be in that space of what is, like accept it, have compassion, like all of the things. And that's what I wrote down. So I just feel like, since class, I've been way more in the flow of life, and I'm just having so much more compassion for myself and the people around me. But I just have felt so connected to everything. Like I'm just like even looking at the trees, and I'm like, whoa, that's a whole living thing. Like each little piece of the sky, like everything is just like alive and vibrant. And I've just been feeling that way. And so as I was weeding this weekend, I was just thinking about how pleasurable that was to just like be in it and just like feel the reciprocation of energy from the earth back to me. And like, it's been so fucking real.
The grounding energy of like putting your feet or your hands in the dirt is just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in the mountains barefoot, just on this valley of grass. I could see my skin like absorbing from the ground, and I was like, my skin literally looked more green, and I was like,
you're like, whoa.
I loved it, you know. I was,
yeah, because you're believing it and you're seeing it in that way, and just this,
and receiving it.
Yes. And you have to be open to receive it, though. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So I just wrote a little bit about like, so I was doing like a ton of yard work. I was like trimming my grapevines. I was getting them ready for spring. Like, I just feel like I was just like clearing out. And it was weird because I love doing yard work, but usually I get like exhausted quickly from it because like I'm bending over and like doing all these things, right? And like my body gets exhausted, but I was just feeling like rejuvenated by it. And it was just like, whoa, this is a totally different relationship to this.
Well, it's like the vitality of the earth.
Yes.
The earth is like our life force and all of the elements. And it's just so cool to engage in that and to choose to do that.
Yeah, and we are that.
Yes.
Like, we're made of the same thing,
right.
You know?
I was thinking about how you're talking about just like the interconnectedness of everything. And that's what I've been experiencing too. Like, just life is so synchronistic. It's actually so wild when you realize how everything is related to everything and everything is important, yet everything can be simple too, and it can be nothingness. It's all the duality of
literally
the universe.
Right. Or the non-duality, right? Like seeing all of it in it. It just is all of it. Like there's the good and the bad, but there's the bad and the good.
It's like this learning how to hold all of those aspects. That's really been so prevalent for me the past few days, is like I've been on this cloud, like just dreamlike living recently. So many beautiful things have been happening for me lately, but then I received like really bad news and sad news recently, and like holding the space for both of those polarities has been really interesting for me. Yeah, I think when you adopt kind of this way of thinking and viewing life, like the interconnectedness of everything, it makes all of it so much easier to like experience. And it makes you grateful when it's so beautiful. It's just like, this is what living is about.
Yeah, that's so true. Like you're just in it, like we said. That is so real. And it's interesting that you said that because I actually wrote down something in my notes a couple weeks ago about like extremes. Like being in extremes, like going from one extreme to the other and being able to hold it all. And like that is a trip, right? And pushing yourself to like not do the thing you would normally do, where maybe in the bad times, right? Like I have had in my past, let's say I've had a story in my head about that, like when I'm feeling sad, I'm gonna get really sad. Like I'm gonna make myself feel it and I'm gonna listen to sad shit and like wallow in it.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh wait, what happens when we don't like have to do that story anymore and kind of let it go and just like experience what's actually here? Like these things are just happening. Like I don't have to get so caught up in all of the
attached
parts of the cycle, right?
The stories. That is speaking to me so much about how I've been feeling and where this shift actually came from in my life, was because I had been just doing the same cycle in my life, this particular cycle where I just kept doing what I knew, staying where I was comfortable, just continuing a cycle, and then I just let it go. And normally I would be so sad, so devastated, feeling my feels, you know me, I'm emotional, like and I just decided to see how I really felt. And I was like, okay, and you witnessed that too. Like I was like, I don't know if I'm like avoiding my feelings or if this is just different this time. And then like it kind of has been. And honestly, embracing like a new way of doing something has been very rewarding for me. And the way that I've like the universal gifts that I've received for doing that are kind of blowing my mind, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just so...
Like you're just getting it back, or what? What do you mean?
Just because I decided to break like a cycle that wasn't maybe serving me. Like I thought, oh, I'm gonna like kind of have like a sad girl spring, you know, like I was thinking I was gonna be sad, and then I was like, wait, like I'm not really sad. Like I just started
really
agreeing. And I was like, okay. And like there was some relief, and I was just in the moment, and I was being present with like how I was at that moment or at that time. I was okay.
Right.
And then I was taking care of myself, right? Like I've been doing these different things to try to boost myself up or feel like I'm taking care of myself. One example is I've been taking this like mushroom powder every day for like a month and I really love it. I hope that someday these people will sponsor us.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna throw it out there. But
Put it
yeah,
out there. We're
they're
manifesting.
called Malama mushrooms. They're out of Hawaii. And anyways, I've been taking their fruiting bodies mushroom extract, like blend of powder and just things like that I had done for myself. This is a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then, like, because I was just open to a new way of living, like, so much happened for me. And I was just shook for real. Like, just met really amazing people. I've made new friends. And then all these just different synchronicities around things that I wanted that I just thought of it, like, have come my way. I'm totally riding that high of just like,
and that you deserve it.
Like, yes,
that's the thing. Like, you deserve it too. Like, you're holding that space for yourself of like, I deserve this. And like, I'm going to be in that. Like, I do.
And even just small things, like I just want to share because it's like coming to mind, but like,
please do.
You know, I've just been feeling the magic and I've just been noticing it and like music's playing and the lyrics are just literally hitting. They are the moment and they're so specific.
I have like full body chills.
I'm talking, yes. Okay, so I just want to share
that
like
specific thing. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm making plans for like the middle of June, kind of, you know, and I'm just feeling all excited about. We're talking about it.
Yeah,
my friend and I, you know, and we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And then this song by the Marias, who I'm just loving right now too, like I love them, plays in that moment, and it's like singing about the middle of June and like what we're gonna be doing, and it is spelling it out because I have just said exactly what we're gonna do, you know, and just noticing.
So you were both like, what the heck? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh my
Why
gosh.
is the song literally saying exactly also in small ways, like silly ways? I need new socks. Okay.
I need new socks.
Like I am wearing new socks like mofo. I'll say it that way, but I don't know why. Anyways, I was hanging with Courtney and she just knows what's up. I'm like, that girl knows. I'm just gonna ask her like what socks I should buy. But then I was like, I'm not gonna ask her, not that I thought I wasn't gonna ask her, I just didn't ask her. And then the next day she's like, let's go to Aritzia. And I was like, okay. And she's like, they have the best socks. And this is just the next day. And she just said that and was just driving us there. But it was just so weird because I hadn't even thought to like ask her. And that's like a small, silly, like maybe I'm just a Lulu thing. No. But like
I want to talk about the synchronicities and like, okay, when you start kind of your healing journey, I'm getting full body chills, like little healing journey, right? And it's like, okay, I'm gonna start trying to uncover, big healing journey. But like you want to uncover these parts of yourself. Like right when you start out and you start to like notice things, synchronicities pop up a lot, right? But it's in these little ways, like numbers, or like you just see these little like flickers of like, oh, that was weird, you know, and it starts to happen more often. And then I feel like there's this stage that you hit where like you're gonna level up. It's like that for like days in a row, and everything is just, you're in it, like you're in the flow in that moment, right? Like riding the wave. That is so freaking real. And anybody who has felt this, let us know if you've been through this too, because I really truly believe it's a real thing for everybody, because synchronicity shows up everywhere and it does get deeper the more you keep going. It's like more synchronicity, so you can like shake in your boots a little bit, like what the fuck is happening, you know?
And you guys, you want to have that experience, let me just tell you.
It's so beautiful. It's like, is this real? Magic.
It's magic.
It is magic.
It's so that,
It's just like the freaking picture of that girl that Tim sent me. There's this character in a game that my healer Tim sent me, and it was of this girl, a Nordic descent, which is so weird because I've always loved the Vikings. Okay, my son's name is Odin.
Yes, she put me on the Vikings too.
Yes.
So there's a little tidbit for you, a little Easter egg. If
so good, even though Easter's over. I love it. Okay, but it was of this girl, and she's in this like, you know, dress kind of, but more like spicy, I guess. She's got bright red hair. She has like a big pirate hat on with a feather, and she's holding a fiddle. And her name is Sadie, and it says the rallying songbird, and she is a healer and magic. 5 stars. I just have to point that out. And then it says, an alluring world-class musician with a mysterious past, able to seal wounds with her magical lute. And if anybody knows me, I have always loved to sing, okay?
Musician
And there's
over here.
Yes, and there's just like this boom, boom, boom moment for me, right? When I get that, where I'm just like, oh, it's kind of whatever. And then I start going deeper.
To read it. Like, so she just showed me it. And I was like, what?
You're like,
why is that you?
Yeah.
Wait, that's you.
Right. Like,
it is
what
you.
the fuck? It's just so weird. Like those moments, right? Where it's these big things where it's like synchronicity, synchronicity, synchronicity. And then it's like, do you see?
Yes. And I think when you're like around people who are seeing it or like you're pointing it out, the people who receive it are so refreshing because it's like, are you gathering like how magic this is for us? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Experiencing that with somebody is like crazy.
Well, you both get it. It's a deeper level, right? It's a layer deeper.
It's like with somebody though.
Oh yeah.
It's validating and it feels like really good.
Really beautiful. Yeah. For sure. I love that. Well, sorry, we just really went off there for a minute, but not sorry also because
no, I just want to share more about it. I just want to say more because it feels so good.
I know. And it is mind-blowing. It really is that this is the world that we live in. So
on that note, I wanted to say, like, we've kind of already talked about it, but it's like that hope and that belief. And I just want to say, I believe this is a scripture.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Forgive me, but
okay, church time.
No, but asking ye shall receive. I feel like that is so true. And that's what I've been feeling lately. Like I put it out there in the universe, like something that I want, like, or that I'm hoping for, and just believe that it's gonna happen some way. And then it does. Like, okay, that same band that had mentioned earlier, the Marias, I had told someone like I want to see them with you, like, and that's all I said. Like, I'm gonna see them with you, you know. But I didn't even know if they were on tour. They haven't put out a new album recently or anything. I just put it out there, and then I get an email that they are coming to Salt Lake. This is just. Here you go, guys. The Marias, Salt Lake City, August 16th, and it's literally $10. It's one of the Twilight concerts.
There you go.
You're welcome.
I'm coming.
Yeah. But anyways, I just was like, what?
Yeah.
And this was like days after. Like, it's beautiful too, though, when you see things that you manifested way before and you almost even forgot about it. Like, that happened with me with being a florist. I didn't even know
you were gonna do it, and it
no, that I even wanted to. And then I found something that I had like screenshot or like something that I had saved on my phone, like literally 2.5 years ago. And I'm like, or it was 3 years ago from the time I started. And I was like, what? Like,
you're like, wait.
Like, it was so specific that I knew that it was something that I had put out there, but I hadn't even had the conscious thought around it. And then it just came to be.
Dude, it all comes down to like the intention though too. Like even when you weren't conscious of your intention, like somewhere in there, your gut was telling you to go that way. And I feel like it is that moment, right? Of like, maybe you might not believe that like you can have this thing or whatever, right? I think a lot of us do that. It's hard to truly trust and believe that this is going to happen when maybe that's never happened before.
True.
But also it is like a gut feeling of like, is this for my highest good? Okay, then let's believe in it. And like, let's believe it will happen, right? I feel like it is.
I feel like that is the most important part, is the belief. And I've been on both sides of the spectrum. Like, you've seen me in both sides of the spectrum where it's like, nothing is gonna work out for me. It never does. Everything's messed up, right?
Yeah, you're in it.
Yeah, but
in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. But as someone at this very current time, like, that's on the other side of that, I just want to say, like, try to believe. Fake it till you make it. Do it. I just made my knee like jolt.
Yeah. You're like, fake it.
Give myself a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, there you go.
No, but I think just that's the part. Just try to believe that things are gonna work out in your favor. They really will start.
Yeah.
That is just the first step.
Yeah. Or fake it till you make it. Like, don't try to believe it. Like, just do.
Well, yeah.
Do believe it. Because it's just like,
just do it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's so wild, dude. It really is. And when you're like, it feels so good to be, okay, here's the other side of the coin, right? Like it feels so good to be in that state and when you're just flowing with it. But like when you're in that space too, if you get lost in that space and you're just floating off into, everything, like not rooted in reality, then it can go too far that way. So it's like even when you're in the highs of highs, you just have to hold that like, oh yeah, everything cycles. Like it can't be this way all the time either, but also it just is. That's okay. But like being able to hold it in that way, then when the harder times come, it's like, oh, this just is too. But you still allow yourself to feel the things, right? And be in it. It's just
that knowledge.
You can't hold so tightly onto one or the other because everything is balanced, right?
It's the polarity in holding both, and that's been the most prevalent thing in my mind recently. And it is like the recognition of cycles, that things will come and they will go, and they will rise and they will fall, and it's just kind of a continual thing. Like life cycles. That's why we relate so much to waves and the moon and all of that, because life comes in waves. Like it does just.
Right. And if you let yourself kind of just be like washed over by them, it's like life isn't so hard. But when you're held so tightly, I feel like it's this like rigidity, with the universe where like you get stuck and like caught in certain places, right? Let the river swim the fish. So talking about these like polarities though, there's something that I've been thinking about as well. And it is inner and outer expression. Inner versus outer. Like what are the benefits of both? What are the benefits of outer expression and like putting yourself in the world, and then like what are maybe the hindrances of that, and then what about the opposite? Inner expression. This is the whole, I told you I'd have something to talk about.
You do,
because this is real. Like I feel like it's very easy for a lot of us to get stuck in the inner expression and in your inner world and wanting to, okay, so for me, when I get stuck in my inner world, I want to be home all the time. I don't want to interact with people. I just want to like numb out. It's kind of like be in my own little comfort space, like play Zelda all day when I have a day and don't do anything like for my life. And I kind of get so sucked into this inner world, right? Because I'm inside of my body experiencing my emotions and holding on to the stories, and you just kind of get in your own little space, right? And I feel like that's a huge hindrance in a way, right? You have to push yourself to go outside, push yourself to go out and go express, like not just outside, but like express, hang out with people, like interact with people when you don't want to the most.
It's so true.
You have to.
It's that catch-22. Like when you don't want to, it's the hardest, but it's what you need the most.
Yes, like push into the resistance. Like when resistance shows up for you, notice it as like, oh, something's coming up that's like gonna be hard, or is making this thing harder to do, but like that means I should do it more.
Yeah. So for me, it's funny you said that, because I was just looking at a note that I had written down. That's exactly where I've been at, is just saying yes to more experiences. And it's been so cool, to say yes to more things and express myself in all these different ways, like by going to shows or having new coworkers at like a gig for like the week. I recently been traveling, and I went and did a gig out in Moab with Jeeve, and it was so fun. And this is where like a lot of these shifts have happened for me recently. Or I went to LA with friends for like this martinis and Manny's party, and that was so fun. But like putting yourself out there in the world and expressing who you are, especially to new people, is so interesting, especially when you don't know what to anticipate at all. I've been doing that so much lately, like kind of constantly, which has been really interesting. But I love coming home to my own space and like nourishing myself by being like alone, and I'm finding this balance with it.
Just gonna say that there's such a delicate balance with going out and like also giving space for you, and like how to just be in those things. But I think it all comes from our intuition. Like, what are you feeling like you need right now? We know sometimes we don't want to do it most of the time, right?
True.
But
the hindrance.
we know what it is we need, but sometimes we want to continue to be in whatever we're in, right?
Yeah. I do think it can be very hard, especially like with going out, like you're saying, like getting together with friends or whatever, because sometimes it feels like, oh, it's like more well for me to stay at home. But And sometimes you really don't know whether like going out is going to be better, but I will say from my own experience, like having more experiences, going to more shows, like going out to dinner with a friend, somebody that you're reconnecting with, like whatever. Yeah. That has all been worth it for me. Yep. And so I'm in this like say yes to everything era, and honestly, it's been doing great things for me.
Yes, yes. And about that too, like this is what kind of sparked this thought is I had this night the other night where I like went to hang out with two of my friends. And I was so excited to hang out with him all week. And I was just like, yay, I'm gonna hang out with James. Shout out James.
Shout out James.
James and Jameson. Jameson, I know you listen, so shout out.
Shout out.
So yeah, I was going to hang out with them, and the whole 3 hours before, I didn't want to go. Everything in me was just like, you need to be home. That exact thing. Like, you need to be home. You need to take care of yourself. Like, I don't want to. Like, what does that? And then I was conflicted because I was like, well, does that mean that I shouldn't? Like, right? You don't really know when you're in that space.
Yeah, a bit confusing.
So, but I ended up going, and it was like, once I got there, everything that I was like, all the resistance up to it, just like, it felt like it was like fireworks, like just exploded because everything was amazing. Yeah. Like the second I was there, I felt so fulfilled. Like we had some crazy synchronistic moments. I pulled cards for them, and it was just so beautiful and connecting. And it was actually everything that I needed. And like, if I would have stayed home in that intense thing, right, it wouldn't have happened. And I left feeling so grateful. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, I've been in a lot of extremes today. Like just these like so deeply was gonna cancel, but I just felt that I shouldn't. You know, I kind of pushed through it, but yeah, I just feel like that really, there's such a delicate balance between those two things, staying in and going out. I love that. Okay, so on this note, I feel like we're talking about all of these things that, you know, all this inner and outer and how balance is so important. And how do we do it? How do we balance it all? So something that I've been thinking about, right, that actually ties perfectly into this. This thought came to me the other day, but just commitment. It was actually after school, I had this thought of commitment, like how important it is to commit to yourself. Not only everybody around you too, right? But like most importantly, yourself, and you like growing, committing to yourself that I am going to be the best me I can be. That commitment is so fucking important. And if you really feel that and truly believe that you deserve it and like that you want to do that for yourself, it propels everything else forward. It totally does. And I think it makes the balance a little bit easier, right? Of holding all these opposites and being more in the flow of life. Truly just knowing that you are committing to it and making that choice. It makes you view everything in a slightly different way.
Commitment is an interesting thing. I feel like, and like integrity would tie in with that. I will say that for me, I've built a lot of my confidence based on that virtue of integrity, honoring myself and doing what I say I'm going to do for myself.
Yes. Following through.
Why like 30-day yoga challenge and challenges of sorts. Really like do something for me because it proves to me that I can like do something for a certain length of time, or that I do what I say I'm gonna do.
Right.
But on that topic,
let's talk about the challenge. So last week's episode, we talked, you know, about a challenge that we are challenging all of our listeners, a 30-day challenge. It's called the Protect Your Peace Challenge. Go look on our Instagram. It's on there. But yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Like, how has that been for you? Like, what do you feel like it's shifting for you? Is it shifting things for you? Have you done a good job? Like, where are you at with all of it, you know? Well, first, let me preface this with me and Maddie have this thing where Maddie is so good, okay, at these 30-day challenges. You are good at committing to it and doing it.
Yeah.
But I have a really hard time with that. So it's just interesting that we're doing this together and we have slightly different experiences.
Right. First of all, you would be good at it. You just need to finish one.
I know. I give myself too much leeway.
Like,
it totally does.
And this confidence I keep speaking of. So anyway, that's just an encouragement for people who are having a hard time, which, hey, guess what? I'm right there with you on this one.
Okay.
Haven't been super consistent with it, but there's like, this is what I'll say. And I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I'm so great, but I know that I can do it because I've done things for like 30-day challenges or any, certain type of challenge. Like, I would like to challenge myself. That's like kind of that type B, wait, is it type B fun?
I think so.
Whatever. The type of fun that's not so basic as drinking or doing whatever you do to have fun.
Well, it's like a high.
The high of doing something hard.
Yeah.
Type fun.
And knowing you can.
About. Yes.
Yeah.
So I like challenging myself that way. Like, if you guys haven't tried like cold plunges, do it and set a time that you're gonna be in there, whether it's a minute or 3 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever, and do the thing because that will build your confidence. Yeah. But so anyway, the Protect Your Peace challenge I've been struggling with though because I have not been making the time, but I am excited to do it and I have done the meditation a few times. Yeah. And I will say so beautiful. So nice. Yeah. Can I just say though, like even though you haven't done it, you've been holding the energy of what the challenge is. And that's what I was going to speak to next. Yes. Because even just the conversation and the intention of it has put me there. Yeah. And that's just kind of where I'm at. But imagine how powerful it would be if I was actually doing the meditation every morning. Yeah. Like even crazier. Yeah. But I will say, such a beautiful challenge, y'all. Do it. Yeah, do it with us. Like, hold this energy with us because it is so liberating. And like you said, to know you can do it and also that you can live this way. Yes. Because we can. Every day. With that, I have done the guided meditation that Sadie spoke of. We'll put it in the description, because I can't think of the guy's name right now. But anyway, so good. And you should totally do it. I actually did it in the sauna and I was like, it says like this, like let this purple light flow over you and through you and down to, whatever. And down to you. You're all going in accent. You felt that one. I love that. Okay. Sorry. It's probably just like a white dude, though. Yeah, but it feels that way to you. It's a feeling. I know, it did. Okay. So I was feeling it. It was great. I actually had those sauna lights set to purple too, which was great. Yeah. But anyway, if meditation's hard for you, it's hard for me to just sit. I like guided meditations. Yes. So that one's really good because it really is centered on that abundance and get you into that mindset. And like Sadie shared, do it in the morning when you're like sleepy, groggy. I think that's cool. I have tried, but I've been trying to do it and then I fall back asleep. Yeah, which is okay. Yeah. Honestly, you're setting the intention in your body by like resting it in, like that's, it's okay. No, it feels good. It's working. I like it. I'm like, oh. So how do you feel like your day goes after? Oh, I feel like it has been going really well. It's all about like the abundance focused mindset. Yes. Abundance mindset. I have been feeling that. There is so much abundance around me. The things that I speak into existence that I want are happening. And I'm so grateful for that. Like I said, like I want to make new friendships. I want to like meet and know more people. And then it just happened, Yeah. I believe that it will happen because I'm saying it and I'm believing it. And I'm also taking the inspired action. Like I'm doing that part too, where someone invites me to go to a show and it's like, it's not the most comfortable situation, but then I go and it's so rewarding. Yeah. Right. Or just finding out. What about you? I love that. Give us an update. I was really in what you were saying right there. Okay. For the challenge for me, so I feel like I have done it, like not every single day, but in the mornings, I'm definitely holding this intention right when I wake up, right? And normally I don't want to look at my phone anyway because I don't love my phone. And so I feel like again, in the morning, anomaly. She's not like the rest of us. Unless it's a game or something, so my farm game, then I'll be in it. But everyone who knows me knows that's a real thing, okay? Let it go. Just kidding. Okay, but for real, the challenge for me, I have done for sure, just kind of holding that. Some mornings I just wake up and I'm like rushing, but I feel like throughout my day, it has just made me way more positive, and I feel like I actually look forward to my day. Like that for me has shifted. And I'm like excited for what's to come because I'm thinking about, oh, what could happen today? And I'm just going to work. But I'm literally like, you never know what's gonna happen at work today. How am I gonna like progress? Like,
You know, like just holding the energy of like, oh, let's see,
The
rather
wonder.
than, oh, fuck, I have to go to work and I gotta do this and all that stuff, you
All
know?
that stuff.
Because I feel like a lot of the time
Oh,
it's
totally.
easy to get in that mindset of, oh, I have to work.
Well, and you think that you anticipate everything that's going to happen in your day, but when you are
Yes.
open to something surprising you, it probably will.
Yes. And so that's what I wrote is we can think or create a story of what we think is going to happen through our day or how the interactions we have are going to affect us. But when we start like just being positive and looking forward to the day and the exciting adventures that are, adventures that are ahead, I feel like it just makes a huge difference in how you experience your whole day.
Yes.
You are waking up being like, oh, I'm going to be open today. You're opening your heart first thing in the morning to, oh, what's my day going to be like? And I feel like it has shifted that for me in a big way. And so I love that we both have been kind of holding this energy and flowing with it. So everybody keep flowing with it because
I think there's like a huge emphasis on the open-heartedness today. And in that
yes.
meditation, it's like being open to receiving.
Mm.
I saw some like silly video that was making fun of healers or like spiritual people, and it was funny, but it was like, I receive this, like they just keep saying, he's like, please receive this, and she's like, I receive. Like, but it was kind of cute. It's like, yeah,
that's real. Like I receive too,
I'm receiving. Yeah.
So everybody, let's receive together and do this challenge with us. Even if you haven't done it up until now, even if you haven't done it any day and now you've,
maybe just
given
do it
up,
once.
like try it.
Yeah, maybe just start with day one.
Right. Or maybe just try to let yourself think about this mindset of what we've talked about today and holding both and kind of being in it. So yeah, that's our challenge for this week is do the challenge with us. We're going to keep checking in on social media and I just hope that you guys try it and love it and please let us know how it's going for you.
Yes.
If you have done it, if you haven't, like let's just be real. Where's everybody at with it? We want to know. Yes. So yeah. Shall we? Shall we pound it? Yes, we should. Okay, we love you guys so much. So yes, so everybody go follow us on social media. Oh, I want to mention that we are also doing YouTube now. Like we're recording all of our episodes and
we're so cool to watch.
Yeah, we're so cool. We're just chilling, having a beer sometimes.
Check out my living room, y'all.
Yeah, we're so excited to be doing this and just kind of putting our own intention into growing this show and growing with you guys and interacting more with you guys. So yes, we're putting that out there. So let us receive it.
And follow us on Instagram, Living in the Question Pod.
And if you have anything you want to talk to us about or tell us or even just get to know us, like please message us. You can message us on Instagram or our email is livinginthequestionpodcast@gmail.com and we will respond and we want to talk to you guys and yeah, let's hang out. So thanks guys. We love you so much and I hope you have a good couple weeks. Bye. Thanks. Bye.